Hello and welcome to this new video where we're going to talk about a very commonly occurring problem that all of us face. So, have you been in a meeting making a presentation? Suddenly, a question comes up that you haven't even thought about, and you feel warm in your face, little start sweating, and you feel flustered, haven't you? Right. So, all of us face that problem. We go extremely well prepared to come out with flying colors in such meetings, and we have a large set of audience. The audience suddenly asks some question that we haven't prepared, and we feel anxious and flustered. So, how would you do? How to handle these unexpected questions or challenges during such a meeting? So, first, let's understand the dynamics of the feeling flustered, right? So before when we go for such meetings, we expect to have prepared so well. We almost drive ourselves or to insanity on trying to prepare and see all possible questions. So we prepare all questions, we list down all questions, we have answers ready, we also even rehearse. So we tell ourselves that, oh, this meeting is so important, it must go so well that I must be able to answer all the questions well, and I must get applauses all the time. So, and that is what makes you anxious when you go into the meeting. You have raised your own expectations, the performance expectations, and you get into this cycle of performance anxiety. And you also then start believing that you know everything, that no one in the audience would know anything better, and they won't have any questions that you won't be able to answer. So that's the situation. So what do you do to overcome this situation? First, don't prepare so much well, right? So what you need to do is to start believing that there are people in the world who might have such important questions that you are not so well prepared, who might be equally well prepared, equally knowledgeable, or even more knowledgeable, and hence can ask questions that you may not be knowing about it. So put yourself down a bit. Second thing, a very contrary advice I will give you is don't go and prepare yourself to perfection, because there is no such thing as perfection. Perfection is a mirage, right? So you are an expert, subject matter expert. You prepare normally. You don't rehearse questions. You just make a note of the questions that might come up. You prepare well on the subject, and you go for the meeting. Now, when you go in the meeting, you obviously introduce yourself, and that's the point. You should set the tone very clearly and say, hey, while I know a few things about the subject, but I'm sure many of you would also be equally knowledgeable. And if you have a questions, do tell me. I'll try and see if I can answer, and I might even need your help to answer such questions. So there you are putting down your own anxiety, performance anxiety, And when such questions come, the first thing I would ask you to do is to acknowledge that it is a brilliant question. Say, hey, brilliant question, John. I mean, I have not even thought about this question, and it's an excellent question. And I don't know if I can answer to your satisfaction, but let me try and take an attempt at it. Also, when you get such a question, if you're clear about the question, and if you have a little bit of an answer, you can, with all humility, you can try and answer that question. And then ask John who had asked this question. Say, John, did I answer your question well? Is there anything else you would like me to know? And if you did not understand the question, take your time, ask clarifying questions, understand. So there will be many situations. First, either you will have some answer, you will have no answer, or you'll be extremely well prepared to answer. So depending on the situation, you answer. Now, the worst thing is that you have no answer to that question. This is not your subject. So honestly admit, hey John, I mean, you caught me totally on the wrong foot today. And laugh aloud and say, I think that's a brilliant question. Now, I have no clue of this. Let me ask if the audience, is there anyone in the audience who can help you and me both? And then you turn to the audience and say, hey guys and girls, I mean, this is a brilliant question from John, and I really don't have much knowledge in this subject. So what do you guys think we should be doing? Is there anyone who can give a clue to the answer, and we can together find an answer to John's question? And then I'm sure someone will offer some advice. At such times, encourage those people who are answering help. And this will give you some time to think. So think on your feet and see what is making. So turn into a kind of a group discussion in which there is a question that you know nothing about, but you have a whole set of people, audiences, who can help you. So remember that you're not alone. You have set of people who might be able to answer your question. So take help from the audience. And finally, what you could even do is say, John, that's a wonderful question. What do you think we should be doing? What do you think you have? I'm sure you have asked this question. You will have some idea of this. And then John will give you his bit of advice, because if John has asked a question, he will have some answer. And there you could get into the enviable position of saying, yeah, John, I think I agree with you. No, John, I don't think I agree with you. And kind of close this question. So with this sudden question, you can turn this into an advantage with your knack and skills of interpersonal relationship, acknowledging the people, recognizing, appreciating the people, taking the help from other people in the audience to solve the problem. And I'm sure if you do that, there's no question of you feeling flustered, because you are not under the pressure. You are not alone there. You have a whole set of audience that you're turning to and taking help. And even the person who's asking question is, you are going to take his or her help. So there's no question of feeling flustered. Does that make sense, guys and girls? Try it. It would work for you.